Okay. Hey folks, how y'all doing? Well, I'm out here in the shop, getting ready to start on a little project on the Grizzly here. I'm gonna be putting on a couple of goodies. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. I'll show you what we got here right behind you and see what you think, and we'll get started on this. Okay, here's what we got. Ha! This is gonna be fun. I'm excited. Power Commander, DYNOJET Power Commander 5. This programmer you got to hook to your PC, some type of laptop or whatever, to make map changes. But it's pretty cool. When I get it all hooked up, I'll go over that with you guys. It's interesting. This this little gauge, COSO digital meter from COSO North America, and what it is, this is the air fuel ratio gauge, a tachometer, and an engine temperature sensor. There's three, and it has all three of them. That's the reason I bought this little gauge here. Well, here, let me finish showing it to you. There's your extensions, your wire and harness. You will hook up to your engine temperature sensor. It actually, you could put a oil temperature sensor as well, but I am not. And here's the most important thing: is going to be the air fuel ratio sensor. This will go in your head pipe. There's the bung you will weld into your front pipe, and the harness to hook this up to the gauge. This out of the way. I guess another reason why I want to do this is I'm planning on making some mods to it. So if you're going to do mods, you need to get your tune correctly. If you're going to add more air, you're going to have to add more fuel. I'm planning on modifying the air box to get more air, and I also have a larger throttle body, 3mm over throttle body ordered. I won't be here for probably a month or so. So when I get that and get that installed, then obviously you'll have to change your tune for that too. Change your tune. Okay, so I think I've explained all that. I hope you're still with me. I'm gonna start pulling some plastics off and doing some stuff. I won't film none of that crap. You guys have seen that 100 times. Alright guys, got the plastics off a little bit, that piece. Other side, got that side off too. I got a little bracket fabricated, what's gonna hold the gauge thing right up there, the little meter. Little bracket right here fabricated for that. Got some paint on it that will set up there and hold that meter up there for the display. Now I'll show you. It tells you here right where to put your O2 sensor or the AF sensor. If you can see that right there, where it tells you. Right there is where it shows you where you I measured it. It's 200 millimeters, which is a little over 7 7/8 inch. So that will be right in here somewhere. I'm gonna pull this pipe off. I'm not gonna drill that hole and weld that bung in there on the machine. I don't want to, that would be more difficult to do it on here, and I would get shavings down in there when you're drilling it. So I'm gonna get that pipe pulled off and get that bung plug welded on there, and I'll show you what that looks like when I get that done too. So okay, we're moving right along. Hey guys, well, I'm back out here in the shop. Gonna continue on. I've actually been out here the last couple of nights working on the exhaust pipe. I'll show you what I've got done so far. It's Saturday morning now. I'll be able to get quite a bit done today. There's the front pipe. I have the let me show it to you here. I have the bung welded in there for the oxygen sensor. That's the front pipe there. I built these little saddles here on both sides and raised it up so it wouldn't be setting in there and causing a little bit of a restriction there on your front pipe. The sensor there, see how the probe sticks out. You thread that in there, you will have, if it was sitting down in there, you know, it would cause just a slight restriction. So I built this little saddles here on both sides, brought it up, and this is a little cavity in here. That way there's no restriction. If it was flush, and see, that would be sticking down in there, causing a bit of a restriction. So now it's setting up like that on that cavity. It's setting up like that. So see, there's no restriction. So I think that's going to work out pretty good. Still need to finish getting it cleaned up, and I will coat it with this here. This you'll put on with a airbrush, if you can see it. Techline coatings, black satin header coating, high temp, corrosion resistant, thermo barrier. I used to run this on the headers on the race car. It's pretty good stuff. It doesn't burn off. It will stay on there. But you know, these pipes they're gonna look like, there's the heat shields off of it. They'll get coated in mud, and the mud will just be baked on there. So, but at least you have something below to keep it from rusting. So I'll get that put on there, get that done, and get the pipe put back on. I'll get back with you, boys. Pretty nice. Alright, boys, got it coated. Got the front and exhaust pipe back on. Give a little shot of it. Got the heat shield back on it there. There it is with the sensor stuck in the head pipe. Let me show you underneath here, get a better view of it. So that's where she'll be right there. And I'll start putting the wiring harness, start running the wiring harness now, laying it down in here. I still got to put the bung, or not bung, but the little tube that goes in the upper radiator hose for the coolant temperature sensor. So that'll be over here. Get these two things out of the way so I can get to the upper radiator hose and get that well, here, I'll show you. Get the deal where the coolant temperature sensor will screw in there. So, alright. Alright, boys. Got it over here on top of the drain, because I opened up the coolant hose, you know, to put the coolant sensor, little adapter there that went in the upper radiator hose. For the coolant sensor, coolant temperature sensor. So that's on there. Of course, you've seen that earlier, though, the air fuel sensor, the harness run up here. Got the gauge put on now. Just will take off the little thing there. Oh, I do screw it up. All right. Anyhow. Oh, the wiring, got it run right down through there. See that? Sensor. Tapped into not the ignition, but the accessory wire. So that's where that's being powered, through the accessory wire. And then also it goes down to your coil for the tachometer. So let me get the air filter on, the air cleaner housing back on. Unaltered right now, and then we'll start altering it later on. Let me get this put back on, and then we'll fire it up. I'm not going to bolt it on, of course, because I'll leave all this apart, because I still see I haven't put this on yet. I'll still get the controller put on, and then I'll show you that too. So okay, let me get the air filter put on there. Air box, then I'll start up and show you the gauge in action. Best we can. I'll just run it long enough to give you guys a view of the workings. Okay, it's 75 degrees, and the AF sensor says 12.1. Alright, air filter's on, it's fired up, see what it is. Need that light on, there we go. As you can see, it's sitting there right at 12.1. Now, there we go. Now it's starting to move around. That's idling. 78 degrees, going up. So that is this gauge will only read 12.1 to I think 16.8. But so it's not idling lean right now, it's idling rich. And we're all factory right now, see? It's kind of cold, and it runs rich when it's cold, and then it starts leaning out, I'm not sure. Alright boys, I'm going to take a little buzz with it. We've been sitting here looking at it. I got my helmet on now and the camera. We've watched it at an idle. I want to buzz it around so I can hold a steady throttle, and we'll see what it does then. Okay. Twelve 1, 12 2, so it does not idle lean. It's idling, well, slightly rich, huh? Alright. So I'm tipping, I'm about an 8 throttle right now. Okay, 13, 13.1, 13.2. And it goes out there, I'm not sure why. Goes back in there. It must go to the max of the scale or something. Reading at 13.1. So 12.7, 13.0, 12.9. 13.7, going up there. 13.5. So that's about what it is. Watch out for the dirt paw. So he's right about 13.0 when I cracked it. 12.6, 12.7, 12.9. So this thing doesn't run lean. It runs just about right. We'll take the airbox lid off and try it. This is how you modify your airbox lid, and you have to. So I got the air filter out. I had took that out a while ago. Okay, is it going to run any different with the what was it? Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have my AIS valve blocked off. So this is no air injector that, you know, obviously that would screw everything up. So yeah, the AIS valve is blocked, so now you hear all this throttling shit. Oh yeah, 14.2, you see that jump up there? 14.4. Oh yeah, did you see that? 14.4, 14.5. Don't hit a tree, looking at the gauge all the time. Yeah, 15.0 right there, super lean. 15, 15. Yeah, 14.2. So So there you go. It is, that changes it, taking the lid off. So there you go. I guess it's working. That's why it runs right with the lid on. Okay, I'll put it away, get the controller put on it, and do some runs then. Okay, folks, that's probably noisy as hell. You probably couldn't even hear me. I'm sorry if you couldn't. Apologize. What do you think, guys? There it is. Okay, I'll get the controller put on now, and I'll show you that. I'll probably end this video at that, and then I'll get into showing you the fuel map on the laptop. Once I get it hooked up, I'll bring it up on the screen. But I'll do all that in another video. This one will end up running too long if I tried to do it all. If I try to do all that now, so okay, I'll get the controller put on now. All right, boys. Just got the power commander installed right here. It will actually, it'll just set right in this area. It came with Velcro, where you just Velcro it down just like that. You can see, but it's all wired in. Wires come through here, goes down in here, hooks up to your crank sensor right there. 2-wire connection. It also goes up to the coil. And you can see that coil's right there. It plugs into there. The harness runs right through here. It hooks up to your throttle position sensor, because it uses that information, and it is hooked up to the injector, of course. That's where all the action's going on. You can see it plugs into the injector, or interrupts the injector. So right there it is, hooked up to the injector. If you can see that in there. Injectors on the bottom on these. So it's all installed. Oh yeah, dielectric grease on all those connections. Really get them packed full of grease, nice and sealed up. You never know, you're gonna be out there in the water somewhere. There's the installation. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. Here's a little switch. I'm probably gonna sit right up in here somewhere. This is like an A and B. The controller has two maps, two different maps downloaded in it. So you can have a map here for cruising and trying to get good fuel economy, and then you can switch it over to a more of a power map, and I'll mount that switch right up in here somewhere. So this machine was not running lean. Put the pipe on it, and yeah, it'd been running fine all this time. And as you see, we took the lid off, and it brought it way up to 14 something, or 15. So it was really lean when the lid come off. So that's good information. I mean, that's awesome to know what the heck's going on, whether your fuel ratio is correct or not. So okay, guys, thanks for watching this video, this install on these two items. Appreciate it. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the next video, and we'll go over the machine running with the power commander hooked up. So that's it. Over and out. Thanks, guys.